After 6 long years of waiting, The Boys has finally come to a conclusion, and I can confidently say that they kind of fumbled in the last 2 seasons. I'm not gonna lie, the last 2 seasons haven't been too good, but the finale, on the other hand, was actually pretty enjoyable, and I thought, considering seasons 4 and 5, they did just about as good as they can. So, as I'm sure most people know by now, the Boys finale is the lowest rated season, or lowest rated episode in any season of The Boys, and it is not deserved at all. But I find that scoring, honestly kind of funny. I think that a lot of people rate it that low because of Homelander and his conclusion, and also because, people just hate on the season just because it's the hip thing to do. It's LARPing. It's literally LARPing. Anyways, I personally thought the finale was pretty good. I thought, considering everything they've done in seasons 4 and 5, you can't really get much better than what we got. But, people are still gonna hate. So, let's just jump right into it. The main reason I liked the finale was because it felt like OG The Boys. It felt like home. I think a lot of the reason seasons 4 and 5 fell off compared to the rest of the seasons of The Boys, seasons 1 through 3, is that they're a lot more episodic in their nature, in every episode. In seasons 1, 2, and 3, there's a specific thing. It's the boys want to go kill Homelander. They need to go get Thing to go beat Homelander by going to this place. Herogasm. Oh, Butcher, Huey, and Soldier Boy need to go to Herogasm to go kill this guy so that Soldier Boy can go kill Homelander. That's just that, but for 8 episodes. And then toss in a finale. That's pretty much what The Boys seasons 1 through 3 were. And it was very enjoyable just to see the characters interact and problem solve to face this ultimately impossible task of beating a god, And then, when you watch seasons 4 and 5, they kind of just lose that. They just lose that. I can't reasonably tell you I think in seasons 4 and 5, there was just not many times where I'm oh, this is memorable. It just did, in season 5, they had the episode where they go to the retirement home. Okay. And then the episode where what did they do? They go to kill the old guy that is just Vought Rising setup. Those 2 episodes. But it's other than that, and I guess the whole Rock Hard episode. But dude, it's just not as compelling or anything anymore. And it's just give me a little bit, give me more, It's I've seen this a lot, and season 3 varied it up by having Soldier Boy as a new factor, having him have to kill these people, and it's that was interesting, and getting a look into the past of Vought, and Payback, and all that stuff. Compare it to now, we already know that. I don't need Vought Rising setup. I don't care, dude. Show me The Boys. This is the finale. Show me these characters doing shit that they're supposed to. I don't need Soldier Boy. You killed him off at the end of season 3. Killed him off. But you don't need that. You don't need it. It's so dumb. And then, but anyways, the reason the finale was good is because it's basic. The Boys go kill Homelander in the White House. And it's yeah, they did it. And it's that was the main reason I thought I enjoyed it, because it just felt classic. You get the basic Huey, Butcher, Kimiko, that squad right there. And just their interactions were always fun. I thought the Deep was really funny in this episode. Obviously, Anthony Starr and Carl Urban absolutely killed it in their roles, because they just do. Dude, what the fuck is going on outside, bro? I don't know. Whatever. But yeah, and then the other reason I liked it is that, it didn't try to be too wacky, because they've literally been leading up to Homelander dying since episode 1. It's not like they were no, we're not going to kill him, we're going to do something weird. No, they just did it, and it was satisfying, because, seeing Butcher finally get the, leg up over Homelander was so satisfying. It's been built up to for the last 5 seasons, and we're finally seeing what happened. That is so satisfying. And I know a lot of people see that and say, oh, well, Homelander, he was my goat. Why he wouldn't grovel at the feet of Butcher? He would beat the fuck out of Butcher. No, Homelander wouldn't. If you genuinely think that, you're a fucking dumbass. So, aside from that, I'm gonna talk about Frenchie. Spoilers: Frenchie is dead, and his death was fine. I thought him saying "you never danced a day in your life" was actually very good, but still. Why is that the only character from The Boys that died? Oh my god, I didn't even mention the fucking Kimiko thing. Oh my god. Alright, so back on the topic of seasons 4 and 5, I've kept alluding to how, the finale is the best considering what seasons 4 and 5 did. Yeah, because seasons 4 and 5 were all kinda ass. Because for the last, I want to say 4 seasons. Because you have Gen V 1 and 2, and then seasons 4 and 5, which all pretty much built up this virus as, this is how we're gonna kill Homelander. Which is, in my opinion, pretty fucking stupid. Because, why are you just writing this in now? Where was this? I don't know. It's besides the point. It's a plot device. But the funniest part is that it doesn't even fucking matter. It literally does nothing. It almost kills Soldier Boy, and then doesn't. That's the best thing it does. Why, dude? That's so ass. And then Homelander gets the V1, and then the day is saved. And then Homelander's saved. But, what? No! Why does the virus not matter anymore? You spent the last 2 seasons of this show and a whole other sideshow building up this as the Homelander killer. Same thing with Marie Moreau, or whatever her name is. You set her up as this Homelander killer, and then you don't do anything with it. Instead, in the last 2 fucking episodes, you write in the fact that Kimiko can now just suddenly have Soldier Boy powers, which is stupid because it was always assumed that Soldier Boy's whole power was the chest beam. That it didn't come from the radiation, it didn't come from anything else, it was his fucking Compound V, that was his power. It wasn't the Germans or the Russians or the whatever it was his power. But then you retconned it saying, oh no, it was from the radiation, which it wasn't. And then said, there's a 1 in a million shot Kimiko gets this. No! What are you doing? It just goes against everything The Boys was about. From the first season, the first episode, it is The Boys outsmarting the Supes. It has never been about just overpowering them with superpowers. Which is why season 3 was so interesting, because it's like, oh, what happens when you give them the powers? And it's like, oh, they become crazed maniacs, showing that, why Butcher and Homelander are one and the same. That's why their whole relationship is built off the fact that they are one and the same, one has superpowers, one doesn't, and that's what makes it so good. Compare that to these last 2 seasons. No, they just straight up can kill people now. And it's stupid. When seasons 1 and 2, they have to work so hard. That finale in season 2 is so good. Having to plant the speakers so that they can fucking fuck with his head. And then they have all the Vought employees with the guns. Where's my son scene? That was so good. They outsmarted the seemingly godlike people that run the world. It was so interesting seeing regular people beat gods. And just in the fight, the way that they beat Homelander is by becoming gods. No, that is stupid. That goes against everything this show was. Which is why I think that's stupid. But considering that the finale, just the finale, not the rest of the season, just the final episode, considering that was what was going to happen, they did it in a pretty good way because Butcher still got the final blow on Homelander. So I can't be too upset. I just think that if you're gonna build up Marie, Soldier Boy, the Virus, any character from Gen V, any of the boys, anything you've set up, you shouldn't throw it all away for a 1 in a billion shot for Kimiko to get superpowers. That's stupid. That's really bad writing, and I don't like it at all. But, you know, whatever. Anyways, I'm going to talk about Vault Rising now. Why are we setting up, like, God. Another thing that disappoints me about this whole season, and last season too, why are we setting up sideshows? Why are we doing that? The boys constantly made fun of the MCU and DC for being like, we got phase 1 of VCU, and then phase 2 of the VCU, and then we got phase 3, and we got Homelander comes back, and Black Noir strikes again. Like, they literally make fun of it all the time. And now it's just, oh, Boys Season 3, Gen V Season 1, Boys Season 4, Gen V Season 2, Boys Season 5, Boys in Mexico, Vault Rising. Stop. It pisses me off because it's just like, you literally are becoming what you made fun of. It is you made fun of Batman, and now a Batman quote of, you live long enough, now you're the villain. That whole quote, I fucked that whole quote up. But that whole quote is what your show became. Like, you became the spinoff you became the show that was good, and then lowered the budget, increased the amount, and it's just shit now. And it really sucks, you know, because Vault Rising looks fine. It looks good, but it's like, would I rather have Vault Rising or just a good final season and just have a good show? I would much rather have a good show. I don't need to see Soldier Boy and Bombsight and the Torpedo Guy and the Angel Girl. I don't care about them. I spent the last 7 years with Carl Urban and Jack Quaid and fucking, I don't remember the other actors. Karen Fukuhara, Aaron Moriarty, and Laz Alonso. I spent the last 7 years with them. Why? I want to see them, man. I don't care about this new show. Don't advertise it to me. Advertise it in a fucking trailer, not in the show, man. It's like, I'm just stating the obvious, but the fact that I need to state the obvious and this wasn't thought of in fucking pre-production is just like, what are we doing, man? Alright, well, I think that's kind of all I got to talk about. Really, it's just disappointing to see a show that I loved so much because of how unique it was, to see, literally, like, seeing these characters outsmart gods. Like, it was so, like, that whole Translucent arc from the first episode, or the first couple episodes, was so interesting, because it's like, wow, this is really, like, they have 5 of them, and they can't beat the weakest one of these guys. Man, how the fuck are they going to beat Homelander? And seeing the finale of the first season, how instead of using any true strength, they use emotional strength to overpower him. You know, and you'd think they'd bring that up in, like, season 4 or 5, you know, because you have Ryan, a big, you know, emotional support. I didn't even mention Ryan at all. You know why? Because the fucking show forgot about him too. Name one thing Ryan's done since season 3. Nah, season 2. I can't remember anything he did in season 3 or 4. He killed Mallory. That's about it. He killed a couple soldiers in season 5, and then got his ass beat, and then held Homelander down, and that was about the end of his character. But it's just like, you have this whole character that is a big emotional crux for Homelander, and we've seen in the past how emotions are what his weakness. His weakness is emotion. You can't beat him with brute strength. You beat him by showing he's not strong. That's how you beat him in season 1. By having Madeline Stillwell, someone who he looked up to, say, "I'm afraid of you." That was enough to make him pissed off and want to kill everybody. Kill Stormfront, that pissed him off. Fucking, like, it's shown time and time again, his weakness is no person It is his self-image. And you have Ryan, his literal son, there, and you don't use him. I meant for this to be a conclusion, but I just dropped some bars, so I might include that. God, I don't know, man. Alright, well, that's about it. I don't really have much else I want to talk about. See you next time.